Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to another episode. And apparently, Andy Muschietti, who was the director of the Flash movie and is actually slated to direct a future project, Batman Brave and the Bold, right? He just came out and said something that was so idiotic. And I like this man. But he just said, I mean, you can read it right here. He just came out and said that the Flash movie was not successful because of a multitude of reasons. One being superhero fatigue. Another being people didn't like Ezra Miller. Another being the times. We're living in a different time. Well, I'm sorry to tell you, Andy, The Flash did not do well because that movie was absolutely trash. It was a trash movie. Do you know how much hype this movie had? Do you know how long we waited for this movie? You had people like Tom Cruise coming out saying, this is one of the best movies he's ever seen. And I believe to this day, that man was paid to say that. I believe they knew a few days to when this movie came out, they knew they basically created a bunch of crap. This movie was so hyped up. I remember how much they talked about it. And I remember him, Andy Muschietti, the director, saying the CGI, the direction they're going, everything, they're using new technology to show the Flash's speed. I remember him giving us teasers of the Flash's suit, and we're like, ooh, this is exactly like the comics. So we're like, ooh, I never even thought about the story. I didn't even think the CGI, because I mean we're coming from the Flash is in the DCEU, right? Zack Snyder directed the Justice League movie where the Flash was in, and we saw him being the Flash, and we loved every bit of it. So we had zero reasons to doubt that we were going to get an absolute masterpiece. We had bombs after bombs, from Wonder Woman 1984 to Black Adam absolutely being trash, to Shazam! Fury of the Gods came out a few months before Flash. So we had bomb after bomb after bomb, and then we were like, oh, thank God for the Flash. The Flash is basically going to be a clean slate. The Flash is going to remind us how incredible the DCEU and DC is, because we know the Flash. Well, I remember seeing that movie, and 25 minutes into it, actually not even 25 minutes into it, 5 to 10 minutes into it, that whole scene of the Flash saving those babies. And then seeing Batman. Seeing Ben. He ruined not only the Batman suit, he ruined Ben Affleck. And he has the audacity, like Stephen A. Smith says, the unmitigated gall, to say that superhero fatigue, the times we live in, people don't like Ezra Miller. I call BS to everything this man just said. I mean, I just lost a ton of respect for you. And number one, I hope, again, I haven't really seen any other projects that he's directed, or maybe I have and I didn't know it was him. But if this is you, all indications are Batman Brave and the Bold will be a whole bunch of nonsense. Dude, all you had to do was basically follow the blueprint. The Flash already existed. We saw him. All you had to do is just tell an incredible story. The story was trash. Come on now. That movie was so bad. You had people walking out. in the middle of a movie. He also said that people don't think The Flash is popular enough. Bro, The Flash TV show was so popular, the first 5 seasons, it created other superhero TV shows like Supergirl, Black Lightning, Superman and Lois. The audacity of this man to blame it on everybody else and not point it at himself. Dude, you produced an absolute BS of a movie. And as a fan base, we are going to call you out on that BS. Because if you actually think that movie was actually good, you are smoking something. You're living in a different universe. Because the best example or the best reaction you want is from your fan base. And when your fan base decides to not only trash this movie, but not even go see it. People didn't like the Justice League movie that Josh Whedon directed, but it still made close to $700 million. Your movie didn't even click 300 from a $200 million budget. Come on now, stop that BS. Dude, we're going to hold you accountable. You created a horrible movie, and you know what? We are tired of BS movies. There is no such thing as superhero fatigue. Because if you create really good content, like we just saw with the Penguin, you will get the results from the fan base you want. I'm just saying. You directed a horrible movie. You created a terrible story. You destroyed The Flash for us because we loved The Flash in Zack Snyder's Justice League. Everybody did. You destroyed it. You single-handedly destroyed your movie and also alienated your fan base because, dude, that movie was so hyped up. It was so disappointing. I mean, you basically told us that you had created one of the best, and don't take my word for it. I mean, Tom Cruise said that was one of the best movies he had ever seen. I choose to believe that they paid him. There is no way in hell the man that made Top Gun thought that movie was one of the best movies he's ever seen. Ain't no way in hell. You're not going to convince me unless he was high. I choose to believe they paid him because they needed something. It's kind of like what The Rock did when he created Black Adam. And from the test screenings, everybody told him he did a horrible movie. And then he decides to add Henry Cavill at the end because he thinks that's going to save his movie. Bro, we liked that scene only because it was Henry Cavill. The entire movie was trash. You're not going to save a movie by trying to appeal to, come on, man. Vanity. Oh, man. Andy Muschietti, I'm sorry. Take ownership. Take accountability. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with us. And just admit the fact that you did not produce the product we wanted to see. Because as a consumer to your content, I'm telling you, I'm also a voice among millions and millions of voices around the world. You produced garbage. And it's upon you right now to stop blaming everybody else. Stop pointing, because you're pointing right at yourself. Stop the cap. Anyway, I just wanted to rant for a little bit because that grinds my gears. Anyway, I'll see you on the next episode. Peace.